just giving everyone a few minutes to get in. When you join, say hello so we know that you're here. Hello, Laura. Oh, thank you. So sweet of you. I'm glad you're here. So it's 2:03. I'm going to start at about 2:05. Just give everybody a chance to get in. So bear with me for a minute. I don't want people to miss the beginning of what I'm talking about and what I'm going to be showing tonight. Today. It's still morning here. I'm going to color in the World of Wonders if you guys have that book. And I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera over to the book so you guys can see the book. How do I do this? Here. Here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm showing you guys the book that I'm going to be working in. And like I said, it's World of Wonders. Hey, Michelle. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've had my hair like this for about a year now. But I love it. It's so much easier to deal with, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the book and go to the page that we're doing. And I'll just say hi to people as they come in. So we're going to be doing this bottle right here. And I'm going to show you guys a background and how to do a background. Oh man, I got some color on here. But anyways, I'm going to show you guys how to do a background. Oh great, Chris. I'm glad there's no lag this time. Yeah, hopefully let me know if this stream is much better than last time. Last time we had so many problems with me lagging, but I have new equipment now, and hopefully the stream is much better than what it was. So I'm going to show you guys, what I was saying was I'm going to show you guys how to do a background. And the background is called a bokeh background. And so that's probably what we're going to do today. We're going to do the background of this bottle. And you can use this background in any type of coloring that you do. It's called a bokeh background. That's Bokeh. And bokeh is basically comes from photography. When you take a picture of something and it's out of focus, and it's the out of focus of lights. So I know that's very hard to interpret. You're like, what are you talking about? But it comes from photography. And I can show you a couple of pictures. I thought maybe I'll just look up on my phone and show you guys a couple of pictures of what a bokeh looks like. But like I said, it's out of focus lights in photography. And like if you look on my phone, these lights, these are basically called bokehs. So we're going to do a design kind of like this, where the lights are out of focus and, and a bokeh effect. So like here's another one that looks like a bokeh effect. These are just a couple examples of how a bokeh effect looks. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. And it's pretty simple, so don't get nervous. If you have your pencils, go ahead and get your pencils out. I'll let you guys go ahead and get your pencils out and your book out. But if you just want to watch, I'm also recording this. So if you want to go back on my YouTube channel and watch and do it by yourself, you can do that too. That's the option. But I was working on it last night, and I did a bottle just to see how it would turn out. And this is how it's going to turn out when I show you guys what to do. So that's the bokeh background. And like I said, you can do this background with any background you want in your coloring. So let's get started. So I basically chose 5 pencils, and the pencils that I chose are in the same color range. And when you pick out your pencils for your bokeh background, you want them to be in the same color range. So for instance, I chose like a blue and a green, a bluish green, so it goes from a light color up to a darker color. And that's kind of how you want to choose your colors. So the first color that I'm using is a horizon blue. It's a very light blue. And then the second one is going to be ice green. It's like a light greenish color blue. And the third one that I'm using is cobalt green. The fourth one is emerald green. And then the last one is going to be verdidian. It's like a darker greenish blue. And so you basically just go from your light to your dark. And you want to pick about this many colors, about 5. You can do maybe 6 if you want, but that's about the most I would pick if I was doing a bokeh background. I got red on me somewhere because I keep getting it on my page. It must be my lipstick. But I'm going to start out with the lightest color. And that's going to be my horizon blue. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see the bottle closer. And so if you can't see anything, or if you're having a hard time hearing me or anything like that, if it's lagging or anything, just let me know and I'll try to fix it as we go along. Yeah, I got some makeup on here. I hate that. So I'm taking a lighter blue, and I'm just going to go around the areas that look like stars. I'm going to go ahead, and what you want to do is you kind of want to make a circular shape. Sometimes people use something to make a perfect circle, but I'm not going to do that here because this is a very small area, and I think I can make my circles by myself. But if you want to get something out to make perfect circles, you can do that. And so I'm just going to go around in a circle, basically, and make a circle out of these little stars. And this color is very light, so you might not see this color very well on the camera. Hi, Mary. Glad you're here. Thank you. I'm glad that it sounds better this time and looks better. And so these 2 little dots here, I'm going to make like a circle around them, just group them together basically. And so I'm just making small circles. And like I said, some people like to use something to make a circle with. I have a circle maker, but I'm not going to get that detailed here. A bokeh is not really, as I shown you guys in the picture of the bokeh, of an example of a bokeh, it's not perfect circles. So that's why I'm not using something to help me make the circles. And I'm just going to take these 3 dots right here and make one big circle. And you want to do this with medium pressure. You don't want to go in too hard. And so I'm just going around in a circle to get my circle, basically. And to get those 3 dots inside of that circle. And so I'm going to do that with all of these. And I'm hoping tonight or today, I don't know why I keep saying tonight, it's afternoon. But I'm hoping today that we finish this whole background. And next time we do a live, we'll finish the bottle, the house on the bottle, in the bottle. That's the plan. So I'm hoping we get to finish this background today. So these 3 circles right here, I'm just going to put them together, basically, in one big circle. And like I said, your circles don't have to be perfect. So has anyone ever tried the bokeh background here? Or is this new for everyone? I was going through my mind what I was going to teach today. I wanted to teach something new. I didn't want to just sit in color. I wanted you guys to get something out of what I'm doing, so you can go back and try it on your own. And I thought, why not do a background? Because everybody always have problems with figuring out what to do for their backgrounds. Now, the thing about the bokeh is that it does take a little bit of time. It takes a little bit of patience. But it's very simple. Yeah, I love how it turns out too. When you're done with it, it's very worth it. Because it really looks pretty. And you can do it with all type of colors. You don't have to do it with the colors that I've chosen. You just kind of want to make sure you go from light to dark colors. And you can test out, like I've tested out a goldish orange brown color, and I really like that one with the bokeh. Um, I've I've tried purplish pink colors. So it works with all type of colors. Hey Ann, how are you? Okay, so now that I have all my circles in place, that's my starting base. And I left these 2 out because they're so close to that one. I just feel like I'm not going to have enough room. So I didn't put a circle around these little 2 because it was in between these. I just left it out. But I'm going to put a few, like one down here. I'm just going to imagine that it's one. And I'm going to put one here. Just because there's a big gap right there. And I don't think I can fit any over here anywhere. But maybe I can fit one right here. So I'm going to try right here. Okay, so now you go to your next color. And my next color up is like a lightish, it's called ice green. And by the way, I didn't tell you what pencils I'm using. I'm using my Hollowben pencils, but this works for any set of pencils. You can use any set of pencils to do this. This is ice green, and it's a little bit darker than the blue that I put down. The first blue that I put down was like a sky blue. So this has a little bit of green in this blue. So basically what you want to do is you just want to go around the circle, the outside of the circle that you already put, and you want to scrumble. When I say scrumble, you want to go in small circles around the outside of the circle that you already have put. So basically, I don't know if I have a scrap sheet of paper here that I can show you on a bigger scale just so you can see what I mean. So for instance, let me take this scrap sheet of paper. So for instance, because I just want you guys to be able to see on a bigger scale. And this just has some scribbles on it from when I was practicing last night, my colors. So for instance, we took the first color, which was very light blue, and we made a circle. Now what you want to do is scrumble around that circle. So you want to take your next color and you want to go in small strokes around that circle. You kind of want to just go around the outside of the circle. Just like that. And we're going to keep doing that with each color, and we're going to build up, basically, is what we're going to do. So you don't want to go in heavy-handed. You want to go in very light and just go in small circles around the circle that you did, basically. So I hope that helps a little more and you can see what I'm doing, because I wanted to show you guys that on a piece of paper because the bottle was kind of small, so I don't know if you guys can actually see what my pencil is doing. So once you get the circle around there, you're going to do all of them the same way with the next color. So I'm just going to do all the circles that way, and I'm just making another circle outside of that circle, basically. It's very easy. It's not hard at all. Anybody can do a bokeh background. It just takes patience, and it takes remembering what color you use last, and picking the right colors. I think is very important in the bokeh. Picking the great colors that go together. And so I'm just scrambling around this circle, and it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. You want to make sure that you kind of keep that circular shape, but it doesn't have to be a perfect circle. So I'm guessing no one has done the bokeh yet, because so this background style is pretty popular. And when I first saw it, I thought, oh my God, that's just so pretty. I have to learn how to do that. And so once I learned how to do it, which I've been knew how to do it for a long time now, I just kept practicing and practicing and practicing it. But I thought I would show you guys how to do it too. And so when I'm around this little flag over here, I'm just kind of ignoring that flag is there for right now, and just putting my circle in. Another thing is that you can make your bokeh as big and as small as you want it to be. I kind of made it smaller because it's in this bottle, but it can be bigger. It doesn't have to be the size that I'm doing. So how is everyone's summer going? Mine's is going actually great. Haven't did a whole lot this summer, but spend a lot of time with my husband. Yeah. And so I'm just going to do each circle this way. So this is what I mean by it. It just takes a little time to do it, but it turns out beautifully once it's done. It looks like we have one over here. And so the hardest part is just basically keeping up with the colors, knowing what colors you did last and what color you need to do next. I usually line my colors up in a line of how I'm putting them on the paper. So I usually put my pencils in order of how I'm going to put them on the paper. That way I don't lose track of where I'm at. And I'm just going to do this little one down here that I did. And so now I'm just going to go to the next color. And the next color is like a cobalt green. It's a lighter greenish blue color. And you're just going to take that and you're going to do the same process that we just did. Except you're going to go around that color now. The outside of this one. You're going to go around it and scrumble around it in small circles. You want to make sure you scrumble and not just do this, because if you do this, you're going to have those swirls and it's not going to look good. It's not going to look like it's fading out. You want the bokeh to look like it's fading out, and that's why I'm doing a scrumbling technique when I go around. And that's why it takes time, because you have to do the scrumbling technique. But if I just did this and went around like that, you're going to have swirls and it's not going to look the way, it's not going to look faded out. You have swirls. Yeah, you got to do it softly. You don't want like, yeah. You just have to do it soft and slow. It's okay. Just start scrambling now. Laura says she has swirls. You might get swirls when you first try it, but just try to remember that you don't want swirls. You want a fade out look. And in the beginning, it doesn't look all that great actually. It doesn't look great until you put that darker color on it. So there's been a couple of times that I've been trying to do the bokeh technique. When I first started out trying to do the bokeh technique, I would get frustrated in the middle because I felt like it wasn't looking like what it should look like. But I had to learn that to keep going. Just keep going. Fight through it. And the end result does look better. So I can't go all the way to here because there's a flag there. So I'm just going to stop right there. And right here I have the house. So I'm going to stop right where the house is. And you basically just want to follow along to where the picture is. The picture of the flag, and kind of stop right there. So if you have like a picture in your way, you kind of just want to go as close to that picture as you can. And another thing I noticed that with bokeh, you kind of might get hand fatigue. So don't hold your pencil too tight. You want to kind of like loosen up your grip on it. Because you're doing that scrambling technique, you tend to hold your pencil too tight. And I'm just doing this around every circle. So I don't know what I'm going to teach in the next live. I think I'm going to take a poll I'm thinking about doing a poll from you guys and see what it is you want to learn in next time. But after we finish the bottle. So next time we'll be completing the bottle, but after that, I don't know what we'll be doing. Unless I come up with something. But I'm kind of curious to want to know what it is you guys would like to see. Is there something special you guys would like to see? Or are you guys just... I know Laura wants to learn faces. You know what? I have to be honest, and faces is just not my thing. But I can do faces. They're just hard to me. But I don't mind teaching you guys faces. It's just that I'm not an expert at faces. So maybe we can do something with faces. Maybe a smaller version of a face. I have to look in my coloring book and find a picture of something we can do and just do the basics of what you do when you do a face. But faces, I'm going to let you know that faces are hard. To me, they're hard. And they're not really my cup of tea. But if that's what you guys want to learn, that's fine with me. I do them every once in a while. I'll get in the mood to do a face. They take a awful long time. It's a lot of blending with faces. You have to go over it and over it and over it and blend and blend and blend. But it takes a lot of patience, kind of like the bokeh. But once the end result is very beautiful, it's worth it. So I'm going to go to this one down here, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fit this color in here, so this probably will be the last color that goes on this one. Then I'm going to do this little one over here. So if you get swirls, Laura, just make sure you go over your color again and you can blend those swirls out. It's because you're doing it too hard and you're not doing the scrambling technique. So I'm going to the next color, which is emerald green. And this is a darker green color. So we have one more color to go. We're almost there. So this color, the trick to this one is, you see how I have so many circles close to each other? You just have to go in between the circles. You want to put this color on both of those circles. So you just go on the outside wherever you can fit the color. You'll see what I'm doing as I go to the other side right here. So I'm not able to go all the way around because these two are getting close to each other, and that's what you want to happen. You want the colors to blend together eventually. And so now I'm going to go around this one wherever I can. This one has more space because there's nothing next to it. Well, there is one over here on this side of it. But I'll just go in between both of those and keep going around. And then the next one, I'm not going to go in between. I'm just going to go wherever I can. And so I can't go in between there, but I can go on this side. So this is where it gets a little tricky when you get to your like fourth color. They're blended together. They're so close together that you might get confused on how to get the color on there. You just go wherever you can. And you still try to keep that circular shape. And also remembering which ones you've done already. So here I can't go any further because there's a house right here. I don't want to go on top of the house. You want to go in the background. So I'm going to start up here where I can go. And then I'm going to stop right here where the flag is because I can't go any further. You get what I'm saying here? So wherever you can put the color is where you put the color. But you don't want to go on top of the picture, basically is what I'm trying to say. So this picture, I think the flag is the picture, but this part right here, it's okay to go to the back, to the inside of this part because this is just the pole. And then I get to the end of the bottle right here, so I just stop. And I just go around here where this pole is and stop right there because that's the flag. And start back where the flag isn't. So I'm just basically going around the objects also. So now I have to do this one. So it gets a little tricky when you're around objects on the page, but just try to figure out where your object is and try to remember not to color on top of your object. You want this to be in the background, not on top of the, I don't want it on top of the house, on top of the picture. Thank you, Aunt Mary. And so I'm just going to keep doing this around the other circles and trying to miss the objects. And so the flag is right there, so I'm just going to start on the other side. And now I have these two circles next to each other, but that's okay. I'm just going to go right in between because there's a gap right there. And that's basically how you do that. And so if you notice, I go around it a couple of times in my scrambling technique to make sure I'm filling in the gaps that I might have missed. And so this one, I can't really go in between. So I'm just going to start wherever I can, which is like right here, and go to the end of this bottle. And then do the other side. And so now I'm going to go to these circles down here. And there's a lantern in my way here. So I'm just going to go to the top part where I can go. And I can't go on this side because there's a lantern here. So I'm just going to go under the lantern. And I'm going to stop where that tree is because I don't want to go inside the tree. Then I'm going to come to the other side of the tree and go over here. So basically you're going to try to get it all the way around it, but avoid the objects. Still trying to keep a circular shape. So I haven't done this one. And this one's very close to the house. But that's okay. I'm just going to go where I can. And I think I'm just going to fill in all of this over here with this color because there's not much left. So when you have like just a little bit of space, you might as well just go ahead and fill it in. So that way it doesn't look ridiculous. And so now I'm going to do, did I do this side? See, I'm lost on what I did now. Did I do this one? I don't think I did this one. So this is why you have to try to remember which one you did. I'm not sure if I did this one. So I'm just doing it again. But I know I did those. And this one down here, I almost don't have any space to do anything here. But I have a little bit of space. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it where I can. Right in this corner. Right down here. And because I just have a little bit of space right here, I'm going to color that in. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and color this part in too, because there's not much going on right there. There. So I'm going to look at this one, and I have a little bit of space to put something here, but not much. So don't worry about it if you can't do it. So now we're going to our last color. And our last color is very important that your last color be the darkest color. And that the color that I chose is called Verdidian. It's like a greenish dark blue. And if you notice, it goes very well with the last color we put on. The last thing you want to do is basically fill in the spots that are open with this color. So the white areas that are still open, you want to fill in with this color. So I'm just going to go, and another thing is with choosing your color, you want to make sure that last color is drastically, you want it to be in the same color family, but you want it to be darker than the last color you just did. So you don't want to like jump, in color family. Like you don't want to go from orange to green. That wouldn't work with bokeh. It would look weird. So you want to stay in the same color family, but you just want it to be a darker shade. And there's really no wrong way or right way to color the last part in. I'm just coloring it in with like medium pressure. Wherever I see an open area. I'm going to put some over here on the side of this house. And this is really what makes the bokeh. I mean, yeah, it makes it when you put all the colors together and you scrumble. That also helps, but your color that you use last brings out those spears that you just made. So you want to kind of bring out those colors with the last color. And I'm just taking that color, and when I get close to a spear, I want to scrumble like I did the other colors. I want to kind of make sure I scrumble around that spear. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and scrumble around that spear because I don't want it to look like it's swirls. And then I'm just going to fill in that little gap. Now doing a whole picture with a background like this, it looks so beautiful if you do it right. So you guys should try that in one of your pictures. Try to do a bokeh. But I just chose this really small bottle because this probably was the only thing I was going to have time to do, because I don't want to be I like to just do a live for like an hour and then that's it. Most an hour and a half. I don't like to be on that long because I know everybody wants to enjoy the rest of their Sunday. And so what I'm going to do is, now that I have this part down here kind of filled in, I'm going to go ahead and scrumble around these other ones that has bigger gaps, just to make sure I get the scrumbled area first. And I'm just filling in this part right here because it's not much. And so right here, I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in because I already did the scrumbling part. Thank you, Tammy. Glad you can join us. And so that's why it's important to do the scrumbling effect first before you fill it in, just so it doesn't look, um, just so it keeps that faded, like it's fading out look. And I'm just filling in the areas now, the blank areas. And you want to kind of do this slow. You want to blend everything together. And doing it in circles will help you get everything blended together. Also, I will blend everything together with my blending pencil. So I'm just filling in this part right here because there's no point in trying to scrumble in this area. So does anyone think that they will try this technique, the bokeh technique in their colorings, or do you think it would be too hard? I think it's very easy for a beginner to learn this. You just need someone to show you what to do. It's a very easy technique. And I see a white spot right here, and I'm just going to fill in that white spot right there with this color. So I don't want any white spots there. And so now the area that's right here, I'm just going to go ahead and fill that in with, oh, yeah, I know you're a newbie. I think you can get it though, Tammy. If you just keep trying, you'll be able to get it. But I love to bring you guys things that you can try out as a newbie. Oh, thank you, Sherry. I'm glad that you'll use it. So I'm scrambling around this area because it's a really big area, and I just want to make sure, like I said, that it fades out first before I add in that color. And I'm just going to scramble around here. So now we have an open part right here, and you could just color that in. Yes, picking the best colors is important to get the effect, but you'll get it. Just if the colors that you pick, because that was my main issue when I first started this. I see a white spot right here, and I just want to color that in. But when I first started trying the bokeh, because I really wanted to know how to do it because it's so pretty, the thing that I had an issue with was picking the colors. That I think is the hardest part, is picking the colors. Doing it is not that hard, but just making sure the colors go great with each other. And the best way I think to do that is kind of look at your color wheel and keep it in the same color family. Always keep it in the same color family. So for instance, if I wanted to do a brown, a goldish brown bokeh looks really good. Looks really good, just like a blue one. But a goldish brown one, I would put gold in it. I would put like a bunch of dark brown shades. And you want to make sure that you have your darkest brown. Like I have my darkest bluish green here. So if you notice, every pencil that I picked was a bluish green color. The very first color that I picked was a powder blue. And you want your very first color to be a very light color. You don't want it to be a dark color, because you want the center of your bokeh to be light, like it's glowing in the middle. So I'm just filling this part in because it's the only part we have left. So yeah, you want your first cup, especially your first color, to be a light color. And then those colors around that one, you want, to go out in sequence, like light, medium, dark. So now I'm just going to fill in this little gap right here. There's a gap down here, and I'm just going to fill that in right there. And so I'm going to scrumble a little bit right here, just so that it fades out. And then I'll just fill in the rest. And so now that I have that done, the outside color done and everything in the inside, only thing you want to do is kind of go over your colors just a little bit. So I'm going to start with the first one that I started with, which is the horizon blue. And I'm just going to scrumble the little middle of that. I'm not really scrumbling, I'm just going over it some. But you don't want to press too hard. You don't want swirls. You just want to go over it and kind of blend it in. Just making sure that it's all blended together really well. And you want to make sure that middle part is glowing. And that's why I'm doing that. And I have a little one down here. You can barely see it, but it's there. And I'm going to go to my next one. And I'm just making sure that everything is blended together. So you just want to go over it a little bit. It's kind of hard to see where your colors are now, but I remember that if this one was the second one, it was right outside of that first one. And I'm just going over everything. With the next color. My last color is the trickiest one. Like I said, you don't want to press hard because you don't want swirls. You just want to kind of make sure that color's still standing out and just make sure it's still there. You don't want the other color to drown the colors out, so I'm just trying to bring the colors back to life just in case it's not dark enough. And so now what I'm going to do is just take this darker color that I have and put it on the outside of here. And on the outside up here. And I'm going to take it and put it down here, like right in the middle. And then again down here, right along the curve. The same on the other side. And one in the middle of here. And so I'm going to take my second color to that one, which was the emerald green, and I'm just going to put that inside of here. And I'm just blending that up into the next color. And so now basically what we want to do is blend the color out. And I'm going to take my Cardenchi blender. And I'm going to start, you want to start in the middle with your light color before you blend the dark color. You want to blend the dark color last. So I'm just blending all the blue first. I'm going out, kind of. And this is just helping to blend my colors together. I see a little gap here, and I just want to color it in. So now I'm going to do the outside of the circles. And if I wasn't on camera, I probably would blend much. I would have blended a little more color in, but I'm trying to hurry up and get it done. So if you want, you can go back and blend more color in and make it more darker, add more layers if you want. Sometimes I add more layers. Now I'm going to blend out the darker area. First I'm just going to go around here and do this part. And when you blend it with the blender pencil, you kind of want to press hard. Not too hard where you ruin the paper, but now I'm just going to blend out that darker color, but hard enough to where you're smoothing out the colors. And you see how it changes, how smooth it looks once you blend it out. I got my camera shaking. I hate that. I definitely need something to tie down my camera because it's hard for me to color, and then I guess it moves the table and it shakes my camera. So I'm just smoothing out the darker areas and blending it. Don't worry about the house. We're going to color over that when we color the house next time. I haven't thought of the colors that I want to do the house yet. What colors do you guys think the house should be? Give me a few ideas. The brand of blending pencil that I'm using is called the Cardenci blender pencil. I think it's spelled Carand'Ace. Cardenci. Cardenci blending pencil. And you get 2 of them in a pack. I got it off Amazon. I forgot how much it cost, but it wasn't a bad price. But it's my favorite blender. It works on practically any pencils. And I've tried other blenders and I always come back to this one. This one just works miracles. It gives it a nice little shine too. Okay. So I think we are done with our bokeh background. What do you guys think? I think next time, no, it's not woodless. It's wax. It's a wax blender. Um, it has no color in it. It's just a plain color, and it's wax. If you go on Amazon and look up Cardenci, I think that's spelled with a C, Arandad apostrophe ACHE blender pencil. You'll see it. And it comes in a pack of 2, but it's not woodless. It's just wax, and you can sharpen it if you want to get a point to it. But it's my favorite. Like I said, it's my favorite blender. It works on wax or oil pencils. I've used them for both. It's way better than the Prismacolor blender. Way better than the Prismacolor blender, I think. So I think we're done. If anybody else have any questions, what do you guys think the color of the house should be? I'm wondering. Next time we come back, we'll do the color of the house. Well, I think you guys, if you guys just try it out and post it on Facebook and let me see what you guys done. Yeah, I don't like the Durant blender at all. And the Durant blender also, to me, the Durant blender kind of makes the color gray. And I don't like it. And it kind of pulls up the ink, like you said. So it makes the color kind of gray. Yeah. And it ruins the paper. Try this Cardenci one. I think you'll like it. You'll like this Cardenci blender. Everyone loves the Cardenci blender. So yeah, I never liked the Durant one at all. And the Prismacolor one is okay for Prismacolors, but I use this one with my Prismacolors too. So, well, thanks for joining me, everyone. I had a great time, and I hope you guys did too. I will see you guys back here next time. I think next time we'll do next Sunday. We'll do next Sunday at the same time, 2 o'clock, and we'll finish out the house. And we'll also think about what we want, what you guys want me to teach you next. Maybe I'll look at, yeah, definitely try it. I'll look at try to find some pictures of faces and try to do that with you guys. If I feel confident enough to do that with you guys, I'll do that with you guys. But I'll see you guys back here next week, Sunday, 2 o'clock. And I want you guys to have a colorful day. Thanks for joining me. Let me flip my camera up so I can say bye to everyone. Okay, so that was fun. I hope you guys had fun. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye. So how do I stop it? Oops. Nice seeing you too, Aunt Mary. Bye, Laura. Thank you, Sherry, for joining us. And thanks to everybody who joined me. See you next week, Sherry.